So when you plant your seeds in the garden or you put your transplants out in the garden, there is a chance that a storm could come through and freeze your plants. So frost tender plants like tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, beans, squash, melons, they really can't take a frost and they need to be protected if a storm comes through. So today I want to share with you 3 low-tech frost protection systems that you can create to protect your precious seedlings and transplants from a damaging frost. So there's 3 basic layers that are needed to create a really good frost protection system. So the first one is a frame, and you're going to use this to keep the insulation layer off of the plants. The second one is the insulation layer, and this is used to keep in the ground heat and keep out the cold air. And the third one is a waterproof layer, and this is used to keep the insulative layer dry. The insulative layer, it's going to work a lot better when it's dry. So with these 3 pieces in mind, let's construct 3 low-tech frost protection systems. All right, so the first low-tech system is a gallon plastic jug, and this is about as low-tech as you can get, but it works pretty good. So the first thing you want to do is you want to cut the bottom out, and then we're going to take this and we're going to put that over the tomato plant, and we're going to squish that down into the ground about an inch. You can pile up some of the dirt around it if you want to. And this will protect your tomato plants down to about 30 degrees. During the day you can take the cap off and let the heat vent out. You can let the sun just shine right through this, so this can stay on the plants a while. If you get a cold night, you want to put the cap on, like I say, it'll protect you to about 30 degrees Fahrenheit. Now if you are needing to go a little more, you can get a frost blanket, or you can get a towel or a sheet or something from the house. You want it to be something kind of thick, and you're going to put that over it. So then the jug becomes the frame. This is your insulative cover, and then on top of this you can put a trash bag, and then you want to put some bricks or blocks to hold that down, because I don't know about you, but every time we get a storm we always get wind first and then it rains or whatever, something like that. So this is the way that you can get just a second layer. Like I said, put plastic over it and then put the bricks around it. Now I happen to be in my greenhouse right now, and this works inside in greenhouses, but it's great for gardens. So you want to be able, you can do this outside as well. And when you're outside you have a lot more wind than you do in the greenhouse. All right, so this is the first low-tech system. We'll go to the second one. All right, here is our second low-tech system. It is a cardboard box. So this box happens to be from a case of wine that I got from the neighbors. So it's a nice sized box. And I like the ones that are a little thicker, so it's going to give us some good insulation. So basically, you're going to put that box over the plant. You want about 2 inches from the sides and the top of the plant so that it's not sitting down on it. So this is our frame. If you want to use this for insulation, of course it won't take any rain, but if you just got a cold night that's like going to be 30 degrees, you'd probably be just fine with just the box. Now if it's going to be a little colder, say like 28 degrees, then you want to go ahead and put a big blanket over your box, so the box becomes the frame, then the blanket becomes the insulation, and then over the top of that go ahead and put your like trash bag, any kind of plastic. What we use here is just leftover greenhouse film. So we have 5 greenhouses, and whenever we change out a roof we just save that plastic and then we cut it up for projects like this. So if you have greenhouses in your area that have the plastic film greenhouses, you might go and ask them if they have any free plastic that you can have, and if it has a little hole in it, just put a piece of tape over it and that'll work really good. You also want to put bricks or blocks on here to hold this down, and this makes a really good insulation, low-tech, you know, if you need it overnight or for a week or two. Now the cardboard box is not going to last year after year, but sometimes you just need it for the night, so that is another low-tech way. Before we get to number 3, if you'd like to learn how to grow $2,500 worth of organic vegetables in only 128 square feet with only a 15-minute a day commitment, you can jump into our High Performance Garden Show. There's over 260 episodes for you to learn from, and it's free, it's online. You can watch it anytime you want. You can find it on our website, thelivingfarm.org/high-performance-garden-show. All right, here's system number 3. This is the one that we use inside of all our greenhouses, and then we also use this outside in our outdoor gardens. And it's nice because you can do bigger beds with this. So if it's not onesies and twosies, if it's 30s or 40 or 50 plants, this system works really well. So basically what we do is we have a frame. So what we're using here is a piece of cement mesh, and we get this at the lumber yard. It's what they used when they pour. This is the metal that goes down in the bottom. So you want to get this. I cut it to where it's 6 feet, and then we cut, for us, we cut little feet so that it sticks down in the ground, or it sticks down in these beds here so that it kind of hangs on and doesn't fall off or blow away. Okay, so there's our frame. Let me get that back down in. Okay. And then next on the frame goes a frost blanket, and this is a 3-ounce frost blanket. The 3-ounce ones are really hard to buy unless you want like a super big roll. So you can get 2 of the 1.5-ounce frost blankets, and that will work just as good. Just be sure that you're using 2 instead of 1. Okay, so that goes on there like that. Okay, so now we have our frame, and we have our insulative cover, and then we use a piece of greenhouse film. So this is one from an old roof that we had. Like I say, if it has a hole in it, just go ahead and put a piece of tape over it. And so this would go on next. Okay, and then if you're outside, you got to use some blocks or bricks to hold that down. The other thing you can do is put another piece of cement mesh over the top of this and make a cement mesh sandwich. So it would be the cement mesh, the insulative cover, the plastic, and then another piece of cement mesh. And then you can put some string and tie that down. Sometimes in the spring, I mean, we'll have 40, 50 mile an hour winds through here. So we've actually learned how to tie these down pretty good. So this will work to keep your tomatoes down to probably about 28 degrees. If you need to go below that, you can actually put another cover on. But this works pretty good just to keep the light frost off your tomato plants. These 3 overnight systems, they're great to get your frost tender seedlings through the frosty nights. And if you want to learn more food growing success secrets, you can find them in our Food Growing Success playlist, and you can find it right here.